Welcome back, adventurers, to another exciting Pantheon Rise of the Fallen update. In today's video, we're diving into the latest patch notes that just dropped yesterday. There's a lot to cover, including some important changes and updates that are sure to impact your gameplay. I'll be highlighting the key takeaways, ensuring you're fully prepared and armed with the knowledge you need for future encounters. This video might run a bit shorter than usual, but I promise it'll be just as packed with valuable information. Before we jump into the patch notes, here's a quick tip of the week. When creating macros, it's essential to make sure they're written correctly for maximum effectiveness. If you want to trigger a technique or utility spell, start by typing a / followed by technique or utility with a space, and then add the spell's number. And if the spell is on your main bar, be sure to use the word use. If you already knew that trick, leave a like and drop a comment below to let me know. Now, let's dive right into the patch notes. Let's kick things off by diving into the latest changes that have been made to Pantheon Rise of the Fallen. One of the most notable updates is the new notification system for location names. Now, when you enter certain areas, a prominent notification will appear, displaying the name of the place you're entering. This feature has been rolled out in a few locations in Thronefast for now, but expect to see it expand to more regions as time goes on. Another exciting update is the addition of a large attention-grabbing notification whenever you gain new techniques. This will help ensure that players don't miss out on new abilities that can be immediately added to their hotbar. Moving on to some gameplay changes, the Iron-Willed trait will no longer grant immunity to knockdowns, making combat a bit easier. An out-of-range loot icon has also been added, which should help improve the looting experience. The Stuck command has received a much-needed upgrade, now attempting to return you to one of your previous locations within the zone when you get stuck. If it can't find a valid location, it will return you to your bind point, or you can manually choose to return to bind by using the /stuckbind command. Lastly, class trainers have made their return, moving from the Gate to Sohirith, where they will assist new halflings and visiting elves. If you're playing as a Dire Lord, Ranger, Rogue, or Warrior, be sure to visit these trainers to learn more about your role in the world of Terminus. Now let's take a look at some of the key class changes in this patch. I'll be covering the most important updates, but as always, I'll leave a link in the description so you can dive into every detail for yourself. First up, we have changes for the Cleric. The Absorb shields will no longer prevent the gain of readiness when shielded targets take damage, allowing for a more balanced interaction in combat. Additionally, the Awaken line has been buffed, with each of its ranks now providing a higher HP bonus to the Cleric. Awaken Honor has been added at level 28, and Awaken Valor at level 36, both available through Cleric scroll vendors. For the Cleric's arsenal of powerful blessings, we now have new additions. Signet of Corsair at level 6, Seal of Corsair at level 16, Symbol of Corsair at level 24, Corsair's Blessing at level 32, and Corsair's Vow at level 40. These spells can be found with the Cleric scroll vendors as well. Moving on to the Invigorate spell, it's received a nice buff, now being an instant cast that provides a flat amount of endurance when it lands, along with a 100% boost to endurance regeneration for 6 seconds. In addition to these changes, 2 new spells have been introduced: Energize at level 28 and Rejuvenate at level 38, also available from Cleric scroll vendors. Next up, let's talk about the changes to the Shaman class. The developers have streamlined the descriptions of several abilities, making them clearer and more concise, though expect even more updates in the future. One major change is to Skymane's Pact, which has now been moved to level 14. The attack speed bonus has also been reduced to 10%, balancing its power. Alongside that, new abilities have been added: Skymane's Bond at level 24 and Skymane's Covenant at level 36, both of which can be found at Shaman scroll vendors. In addition, the Shaman now has a new set of defensive abilities: Reptilian Veil at level 18, Reptilian Cloak at level 28, and Dragon's Cloak at level 38, all available through the Shaman scroll vendor as well. These changes bring a fresh twist to the Shaman's abilities, adding more options and depth to their skill set. Now let's move on to the Dire Lord class. A few important adjustments have been made to improve gameplay balance. First, the splatter distance has been adjusted to 6 meters, down from the previous 10 meters. The new distance should feel more in line with the intended mechanics. The Boil Blood threat has been increased, making it a more effective tool for tanking and managing enemy attention. Additionally, the essence cost for Boil Blood has been reduced to 150, and Boil Essence has been added to vendors starting at level 21, making it more accessible for players. The Harm Shield essence cost has been completely removed and replaced with a 10% health cost, while its duration has been extended to 15 seconds, a nice buff for its defensive capabilities. Finally, the Life Tap essence cost has been reduced to 200, providing even more sustainability for Dire Lords and prolonged fights. There's been a key change to the Paladin class in this patch. The Oathfire Wrath ability has received a significant adjustment. Its essence cost has been reduced to 300, making it more viable for sustained use. In addition, the stat contributions from Oathfire Wrath have been greatly increased, now scaling from 50% to 150%, providing a much more powerful boost to your character's stats. To further enhance the Paladin's role as a support and tank hybrid, a level-based bonus to healing has been added, making Paladins even more valuable in group play and ensuring their ability to both deal and mitigate damage effectively. Now let's look at the changes made to the Monk class. First, the Bowstaff's second strike damage has been updated, improving its overall effectiveness in combat. Additionally, a fix was applied to Gusting Wind Pole, addressing an issue where the blunt damage portion of the ability was still functioning even when the target wasn't exposed. Lastly, the duration of the Focus Chai ability has been increased to 10 seconds, giving monks more time to harness their inner power and unleash devastating abilities with greater precision. The Necromancer has received a straightforward but impactful change in this patch. The damage of Spirit Tap has been increased, making this ability even more deadly and rewarding for Necromancers, who rely on it to drain the life force of their enemies. The changes to the Summoner class in this patch are largely centered around pet interactions. Now, Archamental Bond, Flaming Whip, Wind Dagger, and Enraged Slam no longer require you to target your pet, streamlining gameplay and allowing for smoother combat. These changes make controlling your summoner's abilities much more intuitive and efficient. Overall, the updates to the classes have been mostly positive. It's clear that the development team is putting a lot of effort into fine-tuning these classes and getting them to where they should be, creating a more polished and balanced experience for all players. Now let's move on to some exciting crafting changes and updates. The much-anticipated Jewel Crafting profession has officially been activated. This new profession allows players to create a variety of powerful accessories, including rings, earrings, necklaces, and circlets. And the best part? More jewel-crafted item types will be introduced in future updates, so the possibilities are only going to grow. To get started with jewel crafting, head over to Isaac Syrian in Avalia or Mahina in Sorarith. You'll need an apprenticeship token to learn the profession, so make sure you've got that ready. If you encounter any bugs along the way, be sure to report them so the team can address them. Moving on to weaponsmithing and armor smithing, some adjustments have been made to improve accuracy. The schematic for the Shadower's small blade now better identifies its components. Additionally, the schematics for several pieces of armor, including Crusader's vambraces, Expeditionary's chain bracers, Guardian's vambraces, and many more, now more accurately reflect the required materials, ensuring you won't waste valuable resources. There have also been updates to fletching and carpentry. The skill requirements and slot sizes for storage boxes and chests have been rebalanced, and new schematics for larger storage chests have been added. Plus, the schematic for the medium chest frame now correctly identifies its components. This is a huge leap forward for crafting, and I'm especially excited that jewel crafting is finally live. I can't wait to see what kind of creative and powerful items players will craft with this new profession. And just a heads up, I'll be making a video dedicated to crafting soon, which will include a deep dive into jewel crafting, so be sure to stay tuned for that. And that's a wrap for today's video. I hope this helped you stay up to date with all the latest changes in Pantheon, Rise of the Fallen. Overall, I'm really pleased with what the developers have done in this patch. It feels like we're just getting started, and there's so much more exciting content to come. I'm also pretty confident that the Druid will be making its debut this Wednesday, and I'll be releasing a full guide on them in the near future, so keep an eye out for that. As always, if you want to dive deeper into all of the patch notes and changes, I'll have a link in the description so you can read them for yourself. Until next time, I hope you all have a great day and safe travels, adventurer.